shifts required to enhance climate-smart agriculture investments. A transformative approach to establish sustainable implementation of climate-smart agriculture (CSA) in Guyana will require policy frameworks, institutional innovations, and investments that prioritize financial mechanisms, value chain development, rural public goods, water technologies, and ecological pest and disease management aligned with CSA principles. We have identified 8 key policy recommendations. 1. CSA practices can be tailored to deliver on multiple benefits, and policies can prioritize co-benefits and triple wins in their adaptation strategies for the agricultural sector. The government of Guyana and local stakeholders can identify other potential benefits of interest and prioritize investments to create new climate-smart agriculture portfolios, focusing on culturally appropriate bundles of technologies that attain multiple benefits such as agrobiodiversity, nutritional security, sustainable productivity, adaptation and mitigation, while also reducing the barriers to adoption. 2. Despite the potential of the best bet CSA investment portfolios identified for Guyana, the adoption of CSA practices remains quite low. If the government aims to strengthen adaptation in the agricultural sector, a policy priority should be to address the key barriers for adoption, taking into consideration the local biophysical and social conditions. Other key conditions, such as security of land tenure for both women and men, and short-term livelihood options such as high-value cash crops, can help establish an enabling environment and solid ground for farmers to gradually transition to a more competitive, equitable, and resilient agriculture. 3. Value chain development of priority crops such as pineapple, cassava, and citrus in Guyana is quite limited without mechanisms for value addition in situ. This limits the opportunity for agriculture to provide prosperity to farmers, have access to more and better paid jobs, and to overcome long-lived poverty traps. Therefore, investment in the value chain development of some priority crops, providing a balance between cash and subsistence crops, as well as on crops of relevance for women and men, should be a priority. This should also consider the future productivity and land suitability, as well as inherent cultural practices. 4. To create an enabling environment for technology clusters, public investment is required in areas such as road infrastructure, community seed banks, and small-scale equipment such as water pumps, solar panels, motorized equipment for processing of materials, and water-efficient technologies. Priority should also be given to technologies that are gender-sensitive, for example, reducing the workload of women. 5. The establishment of water harvesting and water management technologies is a government priority at the moment. In Guyana's Essequibo Islands West de Merara region and the Upper Takutu Upper Essequibo region, there are several water management practices and technologies that could be integrated into one single adaptation and mitigation strategy. Based on the experience of the Alliance of Biodiversity International and CIEPs in promoting water technologies for several decades, there are options such as AGRI, Water for Irrigation by its Spanish acronym, to support the verification of superficial water sources for agriculture and potential sites for water harvesting. AGRI is now being implemented in Grenada in the Caribbean, funded by the Caribbean Development Bank. 6. The decentralization of extension services through digital innovations for agriculture, giving smallholders access to inputs, finance, and extension advice, is critical for strengthening adaptation and mitigation. It can also be a means for education and training to strengthen the capacity of farmer communities and associations at the local level. Digital innovations can be used as an engagement strategy for youth in agricultural activities and to guarantee next generations for agriculture. Within climate services for agriculture, there is a relevant innovation in Latin America with great potential to be expanded in the Caribbean called Local Technical Agroclimatic Committees, and Guyana could be the pioneer of this in the region. 7. Banana and plantain play a relevant role in the food security of Guyana and the Caribbean, and there are also a significant number of people involved in its value chain. It is urgent to apply the necessary measures on pest and disease management to prevent the entrance of Fusarium oxysporum cubens tropical race 4 FOG-TR4 disease into the country and the Caribbean. The Alliance of Biodiversity International and CSAIP is leading a regional platform to promote the innovation, competitiveness, and sustainability of MUSE in Latin America and the Caribbean, and the MUSA Research and Development Network for Latin America and the Caribbean, called MUSALAC. There is also a global network on TR4 and a research agenda for the prevention and control of Fusarium, tailored specifically for the region and promoted by Fontagro. 8. Several CSA practices can help Guyana gradually transition to have biodiversity as a cornerstone for the transformation of its food systems and to support Guyana's low-carbon development strategy. The sustainable management and conservation of biodiversity can be further incentivized by the establishment of payment for ecosystem services and regulations that could provide an additional stream of resources to farmers, supporting the diversification of their livelihood strategies. There is great potential for promoting community forest management in Guyana with an agroecological productive approach. The government should also bear in mind the externalities of large infrastructure investments and of large-scale agriculture, applying the necessary safeguards to reduce negative environmental impacts. We would like to thank the Government of Guyana, the University of Guyana, and all the local stakeholders that supported the implementation of this project. We would also like to thank the Caribbean Development Bank for funding the project, and we want to thank you for watching this video.